part of this is going to freak everybody out.
Oh.
So we're going to talk a little bit today about how to set up a 10-gallon tank. What is it, a Petco $10 tank?
Yeah, that's smart.
For a pair of rams. And basically, when I get the tanks, I peel the crap off of it, throw it away. And what a lot of you don't do that I do, I'll take this tank outside. I'll use liquid dish soap, Dawn in specific, and I will scrub all of the factory slime, and you can tell it. You could write your name in the stuff. Scrub it out with soap and water, rinse it, and no, I never killed a fish that way. Dawn happens to rinse really clean. I just found, so that's the brand I use.
That's why they use it on like ducks and stuff for
yes,
stuff, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that's where I first got the idea that I could use that and it would be environmentally safe. So then the tank is clean. I happen to set up my breeding tanks bare. Again, that's up to you. You can put gravel in there if you want. But I set them up bare, get a top, that fits the tank. So in the ram setup, first thing I do is I like a background. I don't care what you use for a background. I like black or dark blue. Whether you paint it, in my case, I use black plastic sheets that I tape on because I don't like anything permanent. I can always change it. So you got a background on there. The fish needs something to back up to. Think about it, if it's a riverbank or if it's a lake edge, they have something to back up to. If it's just open back here, they're like out in the middle of Lake Tanganyika. So they need something to back up to. So we've got a background on here. We don't have one here. For filtration, a sponge filter, it's a good choice, works. Remember, there's only going to be a pair in here, so appropriate size. Or if you want a small hang-on back. Oh, but it's got sponges inside. There's going to be a theme here. Sponges. You could use a hang-on back. If you do use a hang-on back, a sponge. Oh, there we go again. On the intake. So, my choice of filtration is a sponge filter. When I'm just doing a pair of rams, I typically will do something like this or the next size up. You don't really need to go with a hang-on back, but if you have it, use it. So let's get that out of the way. We've got a sponge filter in there. You're going to need some sites for the fish to spawn on. So let's just say we're going to put that sponge filter over here. I like to use little clay pots. And what I've done on the clay pots, a lot of times if you do clay pots, they roll around. But my clay pots sit. So they stay where I put them. And how I do that is I just take them and I put a piece of sandpaper down and I sand it back and forth until I got a flat spot. It's just like if you had a flat tire. So I like to put a clay pot usually in one of the quarters, and then outside of it I like to use flat stones or these little miniature saucers. Both work. Some people like these better, some people. I find that the rams like the dark stones better. So I'll put one near the clay pot. I might put one in the front corner. And this guy, you can either put over here or you can put up here. A lot of times when the rams move the eggs, if you have this setting up as a dish, they will move the babies into it. And then it keeps the babies more compact in there. If you want them spawning on it, turn it like this, and they will spawn on this surface. So you could go one back here, and then put one that they could move to. It's not a very good one. Like here. And then it can move from any site. Now there's one thing missing in here, and that's like a clump of Java moss, about 4 or 5 inches, or maybe a piece of driftwood with Java fern on it. The idea about that is to give the rams some sort of line of sight hiding place. so that the female sometimes needs to be out of view of the male, because they will spar a little bit and you don't want them that way. Another way you can do that is with a larger broken pot. And I've taken a broken pot and basically just smoothed the edges from the jags and put that like around the rock. Now you've got the rams laying eggs in here. The female can guard them or the male can guard them, and the other fish is shielded from that, won't really see it, so it won't really affect what they're doing. This also works really good. Later I'll have them do some videos of the tank where you can use 2 or 3 of these in a group spawning tank. And what it does is it gives that line of sight, and they only have to protect this little area rather than the whole tank. Does that make sense? One thing we forgot, get some good reliable heater. This happens to be one of the Finex ones, electronic. Make sure that heater can go up to about 88 degrees. I usually spawn my rams at 84, 86, and then I raise them at that temperature until about a month before they go to a store. Then I lower the temperature down to more of a store type temperature of 80, 82 degrees, so that when they do get to the store, it's not a shock that happens to them where, oh, I've been in 86 degree water all my life, now I'm in 80 degree water in the store. So if you condition them to that before you sell them, the store is going to have more success with them, and they're not going to be coming to you and say, hey, what's happening to all your rams? They're all crashing, because they will crash. Rams do like warmer water, and they like lots of clean water. Okay, so we're going to catch, this isn't exactly a store tank, but we're going to catch a pair out that we're going to set up in a tank up there for future breeding. And whenever I'm culling or catching, I wear my little headgear thing. It's got a light on it, and that's just so I can see just a little bit better. I also have a flashlight. I want to be able to pick everything on that fish, from pectoral fins to the dorsal fin, gills, everything I want to look at when I catch them. So we're going to be looking for one good male, one good female, and one of the keys is you got to move the net slow so that they're not all of a sudden all frightened. And I'm kind of pre-picking. What I'm looking for in a male is something that I find has been lacking in a lot of the rams these days, is the extended dorsal fin rays. So I want to have that trait in my rams. So I'm always picking for those. You don't always get them, but I pick for those because that's the trait that I want in. I also want really nice long pectoral fins if I can get that. A lot of times you're not going to find both in the same fish. And then, of course, a lot of color. Now, I'm pre-looking through this tank, and I'm looking right back here. I don't know if you can see that, but I really like that male right there. Great extended dorsal fins, nice long pointed pectoral fins, and great color. But and it looks like he is somewhat paired up with the female right there. So ideally, if I could get both of them, I'm going to have a better chance of spawning. Although once separated, they will probably pair up with any female. But if I can get the one that he's already kind of paired up with, I'll have a lot better success. So we're going to go after those two if we can. Got them both in the net right now. So now when they're in the net, got 3 in there, but I got to figure out which is the female. When they're in the net, I'm looking at both sides. I want the fish to turn all the way around. Okay. So I definitely want that male. I'm going to get him out, and I'm going to put the female back in here and pick the female. Just the male. Get him, buddy. There we go. Got the male. Now we're going to go back here and look at these 2 females. I'm pretty sure I know which one is which. but I just want to check out again. And make sure that we got the right one. Yeah. Just for FYI, when you're looking at the rams like this, the females always have the spangling on the black spot on the side. The males don't get that. It's a surefire way of telling females and males. The female I want is the one in the back. She has better color and is more in breeding color right now. So we're going to let the one in the front go and take her. So we got a really good male, really good female, and I'm pretty sure these were the two that were looking to be mating up back there anyway. That's just going to help, and we're going to dump them in the breeding tank. Set up similar to what we just did, a little bit smaller space. It's using a matin filter rather than just a sponge filter, so it's the whole filter, but we'll get them in there. And hopefully we'll have eggs in a week or two. So we got the pair of rams. We're going to acclimate them because all of my fish tank water is different in here, so it's got to be acclimated. And the breeding tank is all set up already. They're going to go in, they're going to hide for a couple days. We'll probably start feeding them tomorrow. And hopefully we'll get eggs in one of those spots.
What are you going to feed them to condition them?
Here's the thing. I like to use brine shrimp, frozen brine shrimp.
Yeah.
I use my pelleted food and frozen bloodworms. But because I'm trying to get them to spawn, I also add a little bit of live baby brine shrimp every day. Now my thought process behind that is they know there's food for baby fish.
Oh.
In the tank. Don't put that anywhere on the internet because then everybody will come up with that's my idea. But I've done that with apistos, with rams, just about every cichlid that I've spawned.
Yeah.
If they know there's food for baby fish, they're more likely to take care of their fry.
All right.
And then I don't have to pull the fry. If you pull the fry, it's a lot more work than if they take care of the fry. So that's just one of my opinions.
Sure. What's your first food? Let's say they got eggs, the eggs hatch. What's your next go-to?
If they are taking care of the babies, i.e.,
Yep.
I'm leaving the babies in with the parents, and I will usually give them 3 tries.
Okay.
Sometimes, like in that case, that tank is pretty much clean. It'll take mulm before they raise the babies, and that's usually about the 3rd batch of eggs.
Okay.
So if they're raising the babies, then my first food is baby brine shrimp.
All right.
I might put some powdered, like the Sarah Micron food in there.
Yep.
But I will not go with paramecium in there. If I'm taking the eggs out, I usually hatch them in one of these guys. Tiny bit of methylene blue. Let them hatch and do 50% water changes until the methylene blue's gone once they're hatched. So the methylene blue is only in the egg stage. And then I will start with paramecium. And I'll also put a pretty good sized clump of Java moss in there because we're looking for microscopic food. Keep in mind there's Java moss in there also. So they will swim into that. The parents will swim them right around that. The parents know where the food is.
And next time you'll share all the secrets on how to breed angelfish? Because that was the poll. Which one first? And they chose German blue rams first.
Yeah, angelfish are easier, just so they know.
Yeah. But hey, they wanted German blue rams. Maybe they can spawn angels, and so
there
they
you
want
go.
German blue rams.
There you go. Yeah, yeah. And I'll show them how to breed guppies.
There you go.
Oh wait, no.
That's the other
Guppies do it themselves,
That's
don't
right.
they?
Well, thank you so much, Gene.
You
I know
bet.
everyone appreciates it, and we always love coming into your fish room.
Great. All right.